Last one, great play calling. George Kittle kind of talked about it yesterday when he was on the show about some of the eye candy and emotions and the shifts and things that they do. People ask why they do it right now. Pause. They got to switch responsibilities. Right now, Kurtz has to go to the middle. Malik Hooker got to come down and cover Juice. These guys got to deal with, their traffic here that they have like in a potential bunch. And then obviously Purdy has to see how they react on defense and then find the open guy. But you'll see it from here. They kind of do a clean job of picking up who they have, but now you got one-on-ones, and now you have to win that one-on-one rep against George Kittle. George Kittle does a great job beating them there and then hitting them with something at the top of the route, because once you get in that trail position, boom, nice head fake, nice little dead leg to the left, gets across. Brock Purdy kind of rolling out to his left a little bit, sees him, throws it back to his right. But once that motion happens pre-snap, now you kind of almost lose that middle of the field deep help. So now he's kind of lost in the sauce right now. Rewind it. So if they never run this motion, if they just line up that way, they're going to have a post safety sitting in here. But since they have to switch responsibilities, he's still he was unsure before he even got lined up over there. Now he gets here, the ball gets snapped while he's still in motion. So now he's like, are they running? Are they doing this? Boom, Purdy's back there cool as a cucumber, makes a throw. Kittle obviously does the heavy lifting, beating the route, and that's how it happens.
Thank you, Darius.
Hey, boy, D-Bud.
Hell yeah.
Hey, D-Bud, I want to ask you. I want to ask you quick, D-Bud, how tough is it defensively? I know at least from linebacker position, you never know when they're going to snap that ball, like where he is at in the motion. They could snap it when he's right here, maybe right here, or all the way out. Like, you never know when he's going to snap it. So that's what all your responsibilities are flying through your head in the moment. And, here, ball snapped here. What do I do?
It's so tough because obviously as a defender, especially if you're covering somebody, like the more static everything is, the more everyone's staying still, the easier, the more things I can go through on the menu and kind of eliminate. But then once that motion comes across, I can't do that. I don't have that time. Everything is kind of off balance. And then you got to kind of be ahead of the game in those meetings, going into a game. So it's tough, man. And Kyle Shanahan, they do the best job. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae, they used to do this a ton when they got in that low red area. You never knew where 17 was going to stop. He would come back. Big Ben and AB used to do it, and then you get out leveraged. So just a great job by the coach. And obviously Brock Purdy, pulling the trigger. They're two good coordinators, Kyle Shanahan, Steve Wilks, and a bunch of talent. I think when Trent Williams gets back in there, AQ said it, that makes a ton of difference with that offensive line. Pick number 1 for Brock Purdy.
Oh, geez. That sounds – you don't say that's the first time you said that.
See down here.
That's weird.
So we got Hitman down here. He's going to get a slight reroute now. The thing about Brock Purdy, as Dan Orlowski would call it, his superpower is his anticipation. We talked about on here as well. His anticipation. He'll get back to that back foot, throw it to a spot, sometimes before guys even there. You see it a lot with Tua as well. And this is what he wanted. But this is not routes on air. You'll see this slight reroute. Now, reroute, it looks slight, but he's throwing him off. He wants to run this route right in between these numbers, give it a little something at the top, and then get to this spot. By the time he's done with where he got rerouted, and then he still tries to hit that move, is so much discrepancy between where he's supposed to be and where he actually is. And it's not a great ball either, but Bynum does a great job getting there, making the pick. And if you run it back one more time, Hitman also talked about this, kind of what you're showing to that quarterback. If you look at this free safety, Bynum can't bite him. He's showing him, hey, I'm back here on this hash, and even more so, I'm going to turn my shoulders there right before the ball snaps, because that's the last thing I want. Right, but pause. So that's the last thing I want you to see as a safety. So obviously quarterbacks, when they get the snap, it's almost like they take pictures. So I see this backside safety, he's going here. So I took that picture in my mind. So I'm not worried about him being involved in this play if I throw this dig route and I can lead this receiver a little bit. He does a great job, knows exactly what's coming, anticipates it, breaks on it, makes a play.
So probably a miss, but not as bad as a miss.
It was a miss for sure.
Than we think, because the hitman kind of slowed him down out there.
It was a
Purdy
miss.
never even looked at the receiver. He just expected him to be there.
That's the spot. Yeah, you expect to be in that spot. You expect what you see on defense, what your receiver's going to route, what route he's going to run based on what look he's getting secondary-wise. So he gets there. So he expects him to be there 2 yards right outside of his hash. That's where they want to complete these dig balls. He's just not there.
First half, he hit Jennings on this same route.
Yeah. And it was almost like the pocket looked like there's no way Brock could even see this guy. It was like he was 6 foot, whatever he is, and it was just like it's no way. And then a few series later.
Yeah.
But that's the small differences though. One guy not being in this spot based off a reroute, and then still trying to, I think the receiver also just, once you get to that point, forget the sell, just get to that spot. And this is the game ender. Once again, showing them something pre-snap. I love this. When you can watch players on defense that aren't just doing their job, hey, go run this coverage, be in that spot, but they're trying to play little mind games because you just want a little bit of uncertainty by either these receivers or this quarterback from this look. Now, this is a situation, fourth quarter, 34 seconds left, pretty much in the game, so the offense obviously needs to chunk. They love dig routes, love the dagger concept. Cam Bynum watches film. He knows that, gets a little late reroute body-wise, and then gets right back in the window once again, right where they want to complete this ball, and goes up, high points hit, boom, curtains, blouses, game time. So great game by him, great ending by him. I think we may have one.
Do you know that this guy throws the ball over the middle? Like, that's a big thing about Purdy, right? Even though his stats outside are great, but their offense is a lot of this.
Yeah.
A lot of crossing routes. So this guy knows that as he's rerouting, I got to get back in there, right?
Yeah, and chunk plays, is certain routes, dig routes are huge, especially AJ knows 2 minute. You're thinking dig routes, dagger concepts, a crosser with a dig coming behind
2x2, pre-snap 2x2, there's got to be a couple crossers most likely.
Yep, 2x2. So you got time too. So it's not like the other situation with 16 seconds. You got 34 seconds so they can get up there, get a completion, spike it, run another play, do whatever. The whole field is kind of at their disposal. So that is something you do. But people talk about inside routes, and Brock Purdy obviously lives on them. Tom Brady lived with inside breakers, everything inside the numbers for 18 years.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, so that's not a bad spot. Those are easier throws. Usually they're runners' balls. You can give somebody, catch it, see Matt catch it, get 40 more yards. Debo, same thing. The sideline, when you're throwing outbreakers, you got to be on time. Number one, you can't be late ever. If you are behind, they get picked. They go to the house.
See ya.
And then sometimes, as a DB, I'll always give up that deep out than a post. Posts are touchdowns, deep outs, you probably catch him going out of bounds. Let's get it. Ayuk down here obviously making plays. We got Q Diggs down here. He's going to drop it to the hook. Brock Purdy, Dan Orlovsky says he got a pea shooter for an arm. This guy is deadly accurate. So these guys are actually not in bad shape. You got your 4 underneath defenders here. You got your 3 deep guys, but he just throws the seam in between 4 defenders. I mean, the touch you got to have on this, the accuracy, you got to have the velocity.
Rolling out to your left, setting your feet.
Yep, rolling to your left, pressuring your face, 53 bearing down on him.
No
just
wind,
stepping this
though.
throw. No wind, no rain, little hands.
Oh, what a goodness.
But, just an absolute seed. It looks even better from the back copy. And Ayuk has been a dog all year, week in, week out. But just look at his play. Look at his execution.
Hold on. Let's go back to the beginning here. Look at the timing of the snap. Right before Juszczyk clears the ball.
Scary.
Whew. Yeah, that is
At the guard.
That's very close. That's very close, obviously, in there. Timing perfect.
That a few times, I would imagine.
Yep.
Jeez.
Boom.
Okay. All right. Come on, Dan.
So, you can say what you want to say about the kid. Just absolutely dicing up week in and week out. Pass game is clicking on all cylinders. We know who the running back is and what the run game is doing. Amazing up front. But, and once again, not a terrible job on defense. One thing I would say when you are that hook defender inserting yourself, I always hate when if you rewind it back a little bit, when DBs, it's like a cardinal sin to me, like never move towards the line of scrimmage on the snap. I feel like that always puts you in a bad spot because obviously he's running full speed. You're getting back, it just kind of messes you up a little bit. If you sink back, maybe if you got 4 or 5 more yards, you can get up and get a hand on that. Yeah. But it's so difficult to go backwards and jump. Like you can't elevate it all whenever you're going backwards. It's much better to be set with
it's like trying to catch a fly ball.
Demeanor.
Bingo.
Absolutely.
Fly ball.
First step, always back.
Punt return.
There we go. First play. Boom. Ooh, good. So we talk about, pause it real quick, Pat. We talk about all the time. Speed at 3 causes issues for defense. You got Jamal Adams on the back end of the defensive coverage. Not a great coverage guy, all right?
Whoa.
Guy you want in the box around the ball, think blitzing the quarterback in the run game. And right now you see Debo Samuel line up at 2. But if you pause it right here, late motion, kind of similar to what Miami does, but obviously San Fran does it their own way. Now he's at 3. And when you're playing this Seattle defense, a lot of times you drop this safety into this hook curl zone opposite of the speed, opposite of the passing strength for this route, literally for this route. 3rd and 11, Debo Samuel's running this over route.
Oh.
Jamal Adams is trying to, sitting there making him go over the top, which he does, and just an absolute seed to Debo Samuel, who's a little faster than most people give him credit for. He's faster on the field
Then he looks on film, ran smooth past Jamal Adams, and obviously this is some bad D.
Do you think there's a chance that right here Jamal Adams thought to himself, there's no way Brock Purdy will throw a deep ball?
No chance.
Yeah, because Jamal can run, and he's in the. This is honestly how you would almost coach it up to play it. It's 3rd and 11, so you do want to kind of be around those sticks. This is a post safety. He's leaning maybe a little more than he would like to. You also got a deep third corner who's being occupied by that curl. I mean, that's a great ball. That's great. Obviously, Debo doing a great job turning on the Jets. But, I mean, good ball. Obviously, people say Brock Purdy, system guy, great players around him.
Game manager.
Shanahan, game manager, all this shit, which things you want your quarterback to be. You want your quarterback to be a game manager. You want your quarterback to be a quote-unquote system quarterback, make the right plays, make the right throws. But you just can't find anybody that can make these type of throws that's on the street. So great play, great execution.
I love Brock Purdy. He's making a lot of people look bad these days.
Yes,
Here's some more. Anyway, speaking of comps, this Niners team don't have many.
Rolling. You saw him a lot in the trenches. You've seen him a lot today. Just going to put this safety in the bind. If you run it back, going to put this safety. Anytime you are a flat defender, which he is, any single high coverage, these guys who are responsible for two, they're going to be some type of flat, either a curl flat, a seam flat, whatever it is. This late motion from Juice, he's going to come across, and they have plenty of run plays that look exactly like this. 44 comes late, 85 comes late, and they hand it off to C-Mac, and you better be there to help once he sets that edge. Better be in there to make the tackle. You also have coverage responsibility down the field. He runs this fake, this play-action fake.
Yikes.
Boom.
That's tough. That's
so
tough.
that can
That
be.
is a tough play.
That's really tough. You're in the bind as a safety, and also as a corner, right? As
That's
a corner,
impossible.
if you are a deep third guy, I would assume he's a deep third guy because he's rotating down. You've got a deep safety. Corner, Woolen, he should be back, in my opinion. He should be deeper because technically this is the number 1 receiver right now. Now, 44 is going to come across. He's going to become the final one. But as a deep third guy, you are a primary pass defender. You are a secondary run defender. So you react to the run, and your first duty is pass down the field. But Julian Love is in a tough spot. You get the play action. He grabs him. It's not enough. Kittle runs through it. Wide open touchdown.
Watch Kittle take a look down as if he was going to come down and help block.
Yep.
Look at his head, turn his head, and then, okay, I'm going to go block. Yeah, because we've seen this play 1,000 times on In the Trenches.
Yep.
Boom, pull, Kittle blocks down, Juszczyk picks up 1, 55 picks up whoever else is in there.
It looks like a run play.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is. And then all of a sudden, boop, nope, I'm out of here, actually. See ya.
So tough.
That decision, too. Like, okay, do I want to get pancaked and laughed at by George Kittle?
Or do I want him to beat me on a deep ball?
And score a touchdown.
So tough. And you'll see it from the tight
impossible.
copy, even tougher, even more
impossible.
impossible from the back end because, once again, everything looks the same. You see the bind that Julian Love is in. Once again, I think Tariq Woolen could be back, help him out because right now that is the number 1 receiver. Tough job for 20. And this is why they do it. You always have to have plays. And then you have to have plays off of it. You have to have counters off of it. I think Dan Orlowski talked about that when speaking about, forget which offense, but he was saying they don't have plays that mirror each other.
Think New
This is
England.
the reason why. Probably New England.
Yeah, potentially. There's other places as well.
This is the team you want to watch. You see them every week pretty much on here and in the trenches. It's the reason why. So cover 3 right here. A true cover 3. Pause it real quick. So you got different cover 3s, same coverage, but people play it differently. Sometimes it's a more of a match concept, which means these flat defenders are going to run in match routes, almost like man-to-man, depending on who comes in your zone. Or we call it a high school cover 3, which we all learned. You get to your areas, whether it's curl, flat, hook, curl, deep post, deep third, and then you play it out. This is a high school cover 3 right here. So deep third player, hook, curl player. Christian McCaffrey, you're going to see Brock Purdy escape the pocket. Christian McCaffrey is going to escape right through kind of like the C gap. Pause it. So now, as this hook curl defender, he's going to stay in his area. This deep third defender, he's kind of going to go to Brandon Ayuk. He's also going to take both of these defenders, so he's going to clear this out. And now you got Christian McCaffrey, who's going to run up and they just almost run like a slot fade from the backfield and end up wide open. This flat defender's on juice in the flat. Brock escapes the pocket. You'll see it better from the tight copy.
Jeez.
And now you watch the tape, you're like, how the fuck does Christian McCaffrey get that wide ass open? That's how it happens.
So why did that corner follow Ayuk the entire way across? Did he think it was a match?
Yeah, when you're in the deep third, when you have that number 1 receiver, so pause it. When you have that 1 receiver, that is like your main responsibility. So when he's that tight to the formation, though, I think he could have dropped him and just had some vision. but you're not expecting. This isn't a route concept that you see every. I don't think I've ever seen this route.
Slot freight from the backfield?
Yeah, just a slot for just running up and then kind of bowing out to the open area. Never seen this route. So that's something you're not seeing on tape a bunch. And then Brock does a good job. A lot of people just say he sits in the pocket and throws to great players. He does that sometimes, but this is him escaping the pocket, extending the play. And
is this supposed to go here, you think? And he just decides to take it there?
I don't know. I almost think it's designed to run to be this way because of you. They know the rules too. They know that's what great offensive coaches do. They attack your coverage rules. So hey, this corner's probably going to run with that guy. We're going to have Juice in the flat. He's going to be occupying that flat defender. And then you're just going to have Christian McCaffrey, obviously probably their best player on the team, be wide ass open in the flat. So it's Brock extending the play, and it's also a great play design as well.
A great play design, getting people open.
Yep.
Some people seem to do that. McDaniel does it with Tyreek Hill somehow. He's able to do it with CMC, Debo, George Kittle, depending on whenever they want. How come we're not seeing it with Travis Kelce?
Good question.
You see, so if you go back to the beginning of this play, when you start this play, when you come out of the huddle now, George Kittle's not on the field right now, but you got Debo Samuel.
Wide.
You got Brandon Ayuk, who's a dog. Juice is a dog, but you're never going to game plan to stop 44. If 44 comes out and beat us, we can live with that. And then obviously Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. 1st and 10, this is really a rundown. You get the play action. So you're not coming out and saying, hey, I'm worried about Christian McCaffrey, in the deep part of the field. So that's how you kind of catch guys sleeping. And there's so many weapons. When you play the Kansas City Chiefs, we got to stop 87. 87 can't beat us. If Rice beats us, if Tony beats us, if Pacheco beats us, we can live with that. We can't let Mahomes in 87 beat us.
Speaking of captain as a rookie, this dude.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers obviously spoke a little bit on it yesterday. This play design. So you have C-Mac here, CMC. You motion him across right before the snap. You motion him. You see the good offense do it. But backside, you got Juice and Kittle. And on defense, you got quarters and half. So quarter, half. So cover 6, as we call it. Quarter, half safety, flat corner. But on this backside, with this deep half safety, especially down here where you are at the field, something has to hold that deep half safety back there. It can be Juice running the wheel. Even if he runs the wheel, the corner's going. It's got to be somebody from number 2. So if Kittle, and I think Aaron mentioned it yesterday, if he runs a 7 route or he does something to hold 14, Kyle Hamilton, you kind of get him out of that picture and you clear the way for Debo to run that middle field run through. But if you don't hold him, he's going to be keying the quarterback, and he's going to make a play on the ball. Now, I think this is a bad read. I think it's a bad play design. I think it's a bad read from Brock, and it's a bad throw. Very uncharacteristic for Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, honestly, at this point in the season. But great job executing as a DB. Now, you catch in the end zone. He kind of caught this, and even when I saw it live on TV, I'm like, he almost looked unsure if he wanted to return it or not. If you're in that situation, just go down, Kyle. You ain't going to take it 100.
I thought we were going to take it at 100.
Yeah,
if you're not going to take it 100. When he came out, now this was Ed Reed. We all saw Ed Reed, Troy.
Thank you.
One of those guys get the ball.
Rodney.
You can tell they're thinking touchdown every time. I don't know about.
What?
Love Rodney, but I don't know how many 100-yarders he got in his bag. But big time play.
Harrison.
Big time play.
Talk about 100-yarders.
Vince Wilfork.
Big time play. The play design definitely helped. Here we
You're
go.
the guy we just had on the program.
Oh, yeah, another weapon. So you'll see, as you see every week with the San Fran offense, shifts, motions. Green Bay is going to bring some pressure here on 3rd and 5. Savage ends up flat-footed. I don't know if he expected the ball to come out quick. Usually when you're sending 0 pressure, which they are here, you expect it to come out quick. 26 get kind of caught flat-footed. Kittle runs right by him. Then Brock Purdy escapes that pocket.
Check down.
On the run. Boop!
Throws a check
on the
down.
money. Yeah, I mean, anybody could do it.
Both of them were open too. Look at behind Kittle. I mean, who is that? Ray McLeod, also wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, anybody could do it.
2 in.
You're bringing zero. You're bringing 0, D. But you guys are expecting that ball to be out. You're squatting on the sticks, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think Purdy was pretty clean. Like I know he escaped and made this throw a little easier, but didn't even have to do that. So San Fran did a pretty good job picking it up with 6 guys in there. But yeah, as a DB, as a cover guy, if you're sending all these blitzes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're sending 6. You're expecting to come out quickly.
That's where you can get a jump on a ball. That's where you can get a pick.
That's what you think.
Yeah, but instead, George Kittle's over your head.
Yeah. If you go to wide copy real quick, this is something that was in the Dallas game as well against the Packers when Jordan Love was on offense and he threw that touchdown to Wicks, I believe, on Gilmore, 36. So when you are that extra guy, right? And he probably has C-Mac. I'm not sure what like this guy has to blitz for me because when you're here, when you're kind of in that middle, in that no man's land, you're not helping any. You can't help me deep. You're not helping me getting after the quarterback. So if he's up here kind of near that line of scrimmage, you just call it add-on, whatever the name was for adding on to the pressure, and you become that extra blitzer, you become that seventh rusher, that's obviously going to make it a lot hotter on that quarterback and he can't just extend this play because to AJ's point, when we're sending gas, we're sending pressure, a lot of time as DBs, 3rd and 5, Savage may be thinking, hey, I may be getting a quick breaker at the sticks, and then the guys just run past you. But great execution right there offensively.
You know what we're doing now? Great execution.
Here, kind of looks like kind of a single high cover 3 look. We've been seeing this a lot. They're going to rotate out and go to cover 2. He's kind of going to be a deep half safety with only one deep threat. Brandon Ayuk, this is the deep pass we've been seeing, for the last few days. Actually, a great job early from this corner, squeezing it, stand on the top shoulder. I know they threw the flag and then picked it up. I think this is a great job by him turning into the receiver, stacking Brandon Ayuk right there. And once you're looking up for that ball, you can get away with that bump because you have just as much right to the ball as the receiver does. At least that's what they tell you. So he's did a great job. Obviously did everything great until letting the ball smack him in the face. And then obviously an outstanding job by Brandon Ayuk having the concentration, bringing this in. Huge play, 3rd quarter, 1st and 10. Obviously everything was going the Niners' way kind of around this point in the game.
Why is that?
Great job early, a little momentum, and obviously some execution. But great job early once again from that corner. Great pre-snap look, I think. You just got to finish these plays. That's what it comes down to. Who makes the splash plays and who doesn't in these big moments.
We talked about the football gods with the fumble for Zay at the half-yard line.
Yep.
Whenever we all see this catch here, and
oh yeah,
it's on.
But
It's over.
if he picks that, do you think the penalty stands and they call it defensive pass interference?
no, they picked it up, right? Didn't
They
pick it
did
up?
pick it up, but honestly, I think they would have. Yeah. I think they would have called it.
That's what I think.
And I think it's a bad call. I think it's a bad call because once that ball is in, and they let you get away with hand fighting, they let you get away with a lot
Where'd
of
they call
shit.
it at?
As long as you're looking and tracking the ball. So he threw. Yeah, I don't understand even why he threw it.
He's tracking the ball already.
Yeah, he was tracking the ball the entire time, and I think he was ready for this shot. You look at where they were, 1st and 10, pretty much a max protection around
the wide
around the
receiver
logo.
there?
What's that?
Who's the wide receiver there?
Exactly. If I'm a deep look, I got as much right. We're both looking to the ball. He bumps Ayuk. And, great job by 11 looking this one.
There was one earlier in the game where Ayuk was the defender as well down the left sideline to Sutton. I thought Ayuk was maybe a PI there.
Yeah,
OPI.
Yeah.
It got to be egregious for them to call that OPI.
What's that all about? How come you guys get the penalties, but not?
It's offensive league, baby.
Same with the NBA. You heard Perk say that?
Offensive league. They want points scored. All right, Deebo Samuel, great. This is a good play design by the Lions. So they want Deebo Samuel to this flat. He's going to come behind the line of scrimmage. Ayuk's going to be in the over. So it's going to be a boot route. So when you draw this play up offensively, you obviously want somebody down here coming this way where Brock Purdy is rolling out to. Sutton does a great job with his leverage. I believe his safety gets over as well. Anzalone is in a little pickle right here. You'll see him obviously it's covered. Boom, he's taken away. Let me reset my feet. It's the catch we saw, the throw and catch, the juice. Juice in the middle of the field, scramble drill. Tough.
Snag.
Tough
down
job.
artist.
Yeah.
Play.
Tough job. So obviously you hear a bunch of game manager, all the shit we hear all year with Brock Purdy. Probably if he wins 2-3 Super Bowls, you'll probably still hear it because of how talented the guys are around him. But just a great job of him obviously getting out of the original play. Okay, that's covered. A lot of guys over here with Ayuk and Samuel. Cut it back, reverse field, make a throw across your body. Great catch, obviously, by Juice in the middle of the field.
What a phenomenal. This team's awesome.
Good players.
Why
Good
are people
quarterback.
saying they don't want to watch them in the Super Bowl? It's like, this team's awesome to watch.
They'll watch.
Well, Pat, it goes back to
They're dogs. They fly around. They have talent. They have names. Their defense hums to the ball.
Yeah, it's the same thing with everything. There's just fucking idiots everywhere.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe. Hey, maybe. We need to remain
for sure.
positive, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's more non-idiots.
Yeah, I'm positive there are a lot of fucking idiots.
Okay, but there's more non.
Is there?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can jump on that side of the sand.